Temperatures have been unusually warm during this winter season. As Canadians venture out onto the ice for some classic cold weather activities, it may be difficult to tell whether or not it's actually safe. For tips on how to navigate the ice, we've reached Stephanie Bakalar. She is with the Lifesaving Society and she joins us in Toronto. Stephanie, thank you so much for making time for us.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Tell us, Stephanie, what kind of an impact can warm temperatures have on ice formation?
So warm temperatures are going to keep the ice from forming safely and securely. So what will happen, especially with temperature fluctuation, is you might see a little bit of a crust sort of form on the top of the ice. So maybe to your eye, it looks like it's frozen, but underneath it's likely not. And as temperatures go up and down, it'll sort of freeze a little, melt a little, refreeze a little, and this results in what we call dirty ice, and this is very unsafe. So anytime where you know that the temperatures have been in plus degrees, you should be extremely cautious about venturing out on the ice.
What are the risks involved with venturing out on bodies of water that may seem frozen, but in fact may not be as frozen as they look to you when you look across? Tell us about some of those risks.
So there's a few things to consider. One thing is any moving bodies of water are never going to freeze completely. So if you've got, lakes, rivers, anything with a lot of movement in it, it's unlikely to freeze solid. We definitely never recommend that anybody do any skating or anything like that on rivers, creeks, streams. And a lot of our bigger lakes, like Lake Ontario, there's a lot of movement in those. Those are not freezing solid. When you do venture out on the ice, we need you to check the depth. And you want to check with an auger. So you're going to get your tool, you actually cut a hole right down into the ice, pull out a nice piece of ice, and you're going to see how long that is. You need a minimum of 4 inches of solid ice for a person to walk on it. If it's a group of people, you're going to want thicker ice. If it's a car, you're going to need 8 to 12 inches of ice. So it varies depending on the weight that's going to be put upon the ice.
But do a lot of checking before you get out there. Let's talk
Absolutely.
about the accidents. How often do accidents involving people falling through the ice happen? I mean, we've heard of quite a few in the last few weeks, some of them with tragic outcomes. How common are these accidents?
So about 35% of drownings in Canada occur between October and May, so sort of in the colder months. And many of these are related to cold water, cold temperatures, falls through ice, getting too close to like a riverbank and slipping into the water that way. So hypothermia and cold water shock have a lot to do with it. And just ice can be very deceiving. The looks can be deceiving. So people are looking at the ice and thinking that it's solid when it's not.
Tell me, when it comes to that sort of worst case scenario, what should people do if they do fall through the ice?
So the first thing we want you to do is actually wear a life jacket before you venture out on the ice, even if you're just going out to check the depth of the ice. Putting a life jacket on or a buoyant snowsuit on is a great layer of protection. Make sure that you have someone with you, and if you're going out on the ice, make sure you've told someone else where you're going. If you do slip through the ice, the best thing you can do is call for help, get into sort of a little huddle position, lie on your back, face out of the water, and sort of wrap your arms around your knees and call for help. If you are able to shimmy out on your belly, you can actually kind of get on your belly. You never want to go up on your hands, knees, or try to stand up because you're just going to keep breaking through the ice. If you are someone who has witnessed this, do not go out on the ice in an attempt to save someone else. You are very likely to become a victim yourself. Try throwing them something that floats, or if you can, stay safely on the ground and reach them something that you could help pull them out of the water with, then those would be 2 very safe choices.
Thank you so much. Some great safety tips out there. Stephanie Bakalar, thank you so much for making time for us. Stephanie Bakalar is with the Lifesaving Society.